Hi everyone, it's Roger here from What's on DisneyPlus.com. A quick news update for you guys on the future of Grey's Anatomy. But before we go any further, make sure you do hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest Disney Plus news. So later this week, Grey's Anatomy is returning for its 20th season. It's going to be debuting on ABC on Thursday night, available the next day on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus. Here in the UK and in Australia and New Zealand, we're just going to have to wait a couple of weeks for this new series. It's going to be arriving every Thursday, so lots to look forward to. I've been a big fan of this show since it began, but 20 seasons is a long time for any series. Very few make it there right now, and obviously there's lots of questions about whether or not we're going to be seeing any more seasons of this show. Now, it is the most popular show on Disney Plus around the world. It's also extremely popular in the US on both Netflix and now on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus. They've just added all the old seasons. It is huge, and that is why Disney's been continuing on with it. And while it's still the #1 show, it kind of makes sense to keep this one running. Now, with all the cost cutting and everything going on right now, Disney has been kind of pulling back on the amount of shows it's creating. For example, like Station 19 is coming to an end. We're going to be seeing the end of Good Doctor. FX shows like What We Do in the Shadows. They're really going to be sort of kind of clamping down and doing a lot less, but focusing on stuff that's working. And I think that still includes Grey's Anatomy. Recently, Meg Marinas, who has taken over as the showrunner on the popular series, spoke to Deadline ahead of the premiere this week, where she was asked about the plans for the 21st season, which she said, "I've not been informed that this is the last season, so I'm going to keep going and telling stories as long as they let me. We still have stories to tell. We receive a tremendous amount of support from the studio and the network and from Showrunner, so we're going to keep going until they tell me to put that pen down." Now, I think it does make sense right now for them just to keep going. Obviously, what they're doing is they're going to be getting ready to wrap up this season, which is a little bit shorter because of the Hollywood strikes last year, and then they want to kind of get ready then to be filming then for next summer, then to be ready for the new fall, like winter season. I think the show is going to be continuing to run. I think one of the good things about Grey's Anatomy is that they keep bringing in new characters. They recently kind of did almost like a soft reboot with a load of younger characters coming in. Yeah, it kind of feel, and I think, to be honest, until the viewership drops to the point where people aren't watching it anymore, or it's no longer as popular, yeah, that might be a point when they might pull the plug on it. But I don't think it's going to be happening anytime soon. It almost just feels like a staple and it's working. And there's that kind of thing. If it ain't broke, why bother fixing it? And Disney are definitely trying to lean more in on franchises. And now that they have got full access in the United States to the streaming show, to have access to it, it just makes sense for this kind of one to keep going. But obviously, we're going to have to wait until later this year, but I'm fully expecting this show to keep going. And in some ways, maybe they've dropped Station 19 to make sure Grey's Anatomy still goes, but also as well, because they pulled in 911, how many of these hospital dramas and stuff do they need? And in some ways, you know, with there being a few less of them, it might then hopefully then boost up Grey's Anatomy's viewership, because that's kind of going to be the big one, because now there's no Resident, Good Doctor will be coming to an end, Station 19. So now they can really kind of focus on those major shows. But let us know what you think of this. Do you think Grey's Anatomy should continue on into a 21st season and beyond? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments below. Go check us out over at whatsondisneyplus.com. Like, follow and subscribe, and I shall see you guys soon. Laters.